Hello everyone, my name is Gloria and welcome back to The Movie My Life. Today's video is going to be the 50 facts about me tag. I once slipped and automatically did the splits on the menswear floor of a department store in Knightsbridge. It was one of the most embarrassing moments. I am really bad at accents. I can do like the random phrase here and there. For example, I can say bonjour. I don't know how French that sounded. I have a fear of breaking my teeth. One thing that really unsettles me is stairways without banisters. I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of heights. If I'm up high and there's no protection around me to make me feel safe that I'm not going to fall, then I'm going to be afraid of falling. But otherwise, I love to be at a great height. I love looking at things from up there. Whether up there is up a very, very tall building or up on a plane looking at the clouds, one of my favourite things in the world. London, England. I love London. London is home. It is home in my heart, home in my soul. London is where I want to be, regardless of the weather. I once had quite the heated disagreement with a classmate at about 13 or 14 years old. The argument was very serious. The argument was about whose handwriting was better. I was convinced completely and utterly that my handwriting was obviously more beautiful. Fast forward to maybe, let's say, 6 years later, when I've left school, I'm now in college, about to apply for university, and I look back at my handwriting, much worse than hers. Retrospect is a wonderful thing. I used to be very, very shy. I was the good girl in school who sat at the front of the class, who actually really wanted to learn. It wasn't until I discovered drama, the reason I am talking to you today. It is the reason that I'm not as shy as I used to be. I cannot speak any other language very well except English. I wish I could speak Italian. My favourite thing in the world is movies. I don't do horror movies. I watched The Omen when I was 12 years old. I literally could not sleep for a week, and since then I just stay away from horror movies. Animals, I do love them. I love them very much and I want them to be happy. However, I love them most when they are over there, not so close to myself, because I get nervous around them. I had a massive crush on Leonardo DiCaprio. It was very, very serious. My mind tends to go to the funny first, and what this means is that someone will tell me something. It could be a sad story, it could be a happy story, but based on what they tell me, I'll remember something similar that happened to someone else. Most often, I'm reminded by something I saw in a movie that made me laugh. It's also a good thing because I guess I find the joy quite easily, I suppose. I think that's what that means. I drink hot water and I don't mind the taste. When I say I drink hot water, I don't mean with a twist of lemon, I mean I drink hot water. I love olives. I never sneeze quietly. One of my favourite words is phantasmagoria, and I know it because of a wonderful Edgar Allan Poe book. I have a variety of different laughs. I can never tell beforehand which laugh is going to come out. I'm assuming that I'm not the only person like this. I have this fear of being late at the airport. So much so that I would very, very gladly be there 3 to 4 hours early than I need to, because I do not ever want to be that person who is running across the airport whilst the rest of the airport is still. I don't want to be that person who is such a hot mess that they have to run like crazy to catch the plane. I studied marketing at university and I loved it. I am not very good at sport, but I do have a brilliant sporting memory. I was the hero of the game and my whole team came running to me. It was wonderful. My nickname in high school was Shiny. Let's just say my skin was always incredibly well moisturized, especially my legs. I once lied saying that I could swim when I couldn't. I don't know why I did this. It is a very, very dumb thing to do. It was on the day that my class had a swimming relay competition. When it came to my turn to dive into the water, I jumped in and, as Kevin Hart might say, I began to die immediately. I went down and didn't come up. My teacher had to stick her hand in the water and pull me out, and she was very, very cross with me. She said, "Why did you say you could swim when you couldn't?" And I had no good answer. I won't do that again. I love comedy. Eddie Murphy is one of my favourites. I also love Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. is brilliant too. But yes, I love comedy. Marmite. How is that delicious to anyone? In my primary school end of year drama performance at about age 10, I played a boy called Billy. Fast forward to a few years later, at the age of 17, in the final performance for my course in college, I played a man called Brick. I have difficulty with the word technology. Did you notice how I had to slow down to say it? It's quite embarrassing how I learned that I actually had an issue with the word. If I don't slow down to say it, I will stutter. I will trip over my tongue several times. And I learned that in a very embarrassing situation. It was during a marketing presentation. We were talking about technological aspects of the pest analysis, and I was speaking very, very fast indeed due to nerves. My lecturer, who was probably dozing off, was awoken by my tripping tongue. So yeah, I have issues with the word technology if I don't slow down to say it properly. I have a fear of rodents. I blame Sylvester Stallone's movie Daylight for cementing that fear. I was so positively affected by the excellence of it that I had no words to say. As someone who talks quite a bit, it's a rare thing. And since then, I don't think I've ever been speechless again. My actual favourite movie, if I had to pick one, it's American Beauty. I love that movie. I also love Inception, but really American Beauty is near perfection. Well written, well acted, excellent cinematography. It's just beautiful. I recommend. As someone who is not all the way comfortable with animals in general, I never had pets growing up, and that is something I have zero regrets about. I may want a pet in the future. It won't be a rodent of any kind. It will probably be a small cute dog, like a Pomeranian. I only eat vegetarian sushi, or sushi that has fillings that are cooked. I am not a fan of the texture of uncooked fish. I generally don't do slimy food. Bagels, they're just so dense. I don't eat bagels or pretzels. I love Italy, and I'm glad that I live relatively close to it. I would visit it more often if it wasn't for my generally busy ways. I have fantasies about having a property next to George Clooney's home in Lake Como. I hate waiting. Waiting sucks. When I went to visit San Francisco, which generally has good temperatures, I actually thought that it might be a place I would like to live if I didn't live in England. It's part of California, which is one of the states that takes healthy eating a bit more seriously. They have earthquakes. As soon as I learned about San Francisco and their earthquakes, I moved right on. Back to England. I love big cats, tigers, leopards, lions, snow leopards in particular. I actually would not want one as a pet. I love them so much and so deeply that I would rather they lived in the wild and were happy. The only karaoke I've ever enjoyed is a scene in Rush Hour 2. It's very, very funny, and it's the only karaoke I have ever and probably will ever enjoy. My siblings would argue that I've watched Titanic over 300 plus times. I've only actually watched the film from beginning to the very end maximum 3 times. It's just that there are specific scenes in the movie that I love so much because of the way that they're executed. You know, from the music, the acting, the movement. I cannot sing. I have tried. I cannot. I like to think I can, but I cannot. The fact is, I cannot sing. I'm not the best storyteller. I will laugh at a joke before the punchline. I will start from Z, go to K and back to B and A and then, you know, LP. I want to be better. Every so often, I think about shaving my head. My hair, it's so high maintenance and I'm so incredibly lazy. I get a timely reality check. I'll miss my hair pretty promptly. I'll probably never ever voluntarily take myself to the jungle. I can't even contemplate the beasts that are lurking in the bushes, and those are the small things. What about the big beasts? And the thing is, before I see the beasts, I'm imagining the beasts. I don't want to imagine nor see them. I will gladly, happily leave the jungle to Tarzan. Steer clear of the jungle. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, have a great day and good night. Ciao.